Do you like things real or do you like them looking good? For example, if something looks nice and pretty and beautiful, would you not mind that it is not real, that it's fake? Now, with the advent of AI and the Photoshops and the video editing, these days that question takes on another dimension. It becomes very important. But here I am asking this in context of Skopje, North Macedonia. They have a whole project with a lot of buildings and bridges and statues and monuments within that project, which are good looking but not real. So stay with me through this intro and I will tell you all about Project 2014 in Skopje, North Macedonia. My name is Sunny and I wanted to create a podcast that would be like a campfire where you tell stories, share life experiences, sing songs, tell jokes and come home with great vibes. That's why I created Campfire Corner. Welcome to Campfire Corner with Sunny. So I finally found Project 2014 in Skopje, and let me give you the background quickly. 2014 was a project that was announced in 2010 in Skopje to give the city a facelift, and it had a massive budget, and the output of that project was that a lot of statues were built, very famous people statues, and also a lot of monuments, but these were like very fake kind of monuments. The buildings themselves were falling apart, but then interesting looking, very imposing kind of facades were put on there. So you can find, how do you find it? You walk through a fake Arc de Triomphe. The real one is in Paris, obviously, and you walk through that one, two statues on either side of that, and then you can see another statue. Just keep walking towards that, and that's a big square. I think it's the Alexander Square. I'll find out and confirm. Well, after that, you just keep walking, and you see a lot of imposing buildings, which are copies of, like there's the Stone Bridge, which is the genuine one, very, very old bridge. I think one of the oldest bridges in Europe. And then you walk from there, and then you see a building that looks like a pantheon, I think, from the Rome. There is one which I think I should know, but I don't know the name, so let's leave that. But there are some other ones that also, some of them are like, they look like very famous buildings that I've seen pictures of, but I can't remember the names. But let me tell you the names that I do remember. There's a copy of the Prague Charles Bridge with lots of statues there, except the statues here are not broken down. And then there is a copy of like a kind of Pont des Arts from Paris, but it's not wooden, but it has a similar kind of arc and everything, and the statues. There are a couple of ships here which look very old, but obviously they are fake. And then it ends in something that looks like another Paris bridge. I would venture to say like maybe Pont Mirabeau, but I would not swear to that because I have only been to Paris once for 5-6 days, and that was about 5 years ago. So I would not claim to be an expert on that, although Pont des Arts is one of my favorite bridges in the world. And from Budapest, here is the copy of a copy of a part of the Heroes Square, which I've very recently seen. So that gave me a thrill to see that here on the bank of the river Vardar. And yeah, so I'm just going crazy taking pictures of everything, like a kid in a candy store kind of feeling. But it's very amusing. I think it might be a matter of shame for the Skopje public, Skopje citizens who don't like this project, who want to tear this all down. But for tourists, especially for cheeky tourists like me, I think this is like, yeah, it's very amusing. I would say it's so bad that it's good. But yes, if you come to Skopje, for sure, check this out. I spent a long time on that riverbank looking at those buildings and taking a lot of pictures. While we were there, we were also planning for the onward journey to Ohrid, because this was the day that we were planning to go from Skopje to Ohrid. We had our rooms booked there, and we decided that we should take a taxi because we wanted to go to Matka Canyon first. And although there were buses from Skopje to Matka Canyon, there were no buses from Matka Canyon to Ohrid. So we said, okay, it's three of us. We can probably share the travel expense, the taxi expense, and that'll be okay. So I texted that guy Robert again, and we kind of negotiated. I tried to bargain him down from the price that he was asking, and it was a little bit funny as well, because he also replied in a little bit more with some sense of humor, sometimes sending a smiley and sometimes saying things like, oh, that is not a discount, my friend, that is, you're just cutting down in half. So things like that with some smileys. It was a little bit fun. I've never done negotiation before on text messages, I think, not like that. So finally we had a price that would include us going to Matka Canyon and then onward to Ohrid, and then the taxi would stop on the way as well for a while so that we could enjoy Matka Canyon. And that was fixed for 3 o'clock. And because where we were, that was a pedestrian only area, the riverbank, and across the bridge from there, across the stone bridge from there, was the old bazaar, and we had to go to the bazaar. We wanted to go to the bazaar as well, so that's why I had given him the time for like send the taxi for about 3 o'clock, and that was at 2 o'clock. So we took a lot of pictures, me with lots of pictures of these facades, my friends lots of pictures of themselves with the bridge and all that. It was quite a nice place, also because it was a warm day and this place was in the shade, so very enjoyable. Then from there I crossed over the bridge to the bazaar and then left my friends behind to take their 1000 selfies. And in the bazaar I found some t-shirts also, although it was not the season, so there were not that many new designs left. I found very few designs there of t-shirts. So I like to have the local t-shirt, like a very touristy one, but I also like it to be a little bit more attractive design, a little bit I don't know, stylish, so that I can actually wear it, not just as a souvenir but also as a proper t-shirt. I found only one and it was cheap, and then I got some fridge magnets as well, which I always buy from every city I visit. And then because my friends were still trailing behind, I did what I always do these days ever since Rome, is that I bought a bottle of Fanta, found some stairs, and then just sat down on the steps and watched the world pass by while I sipped the Fanta. It was nice. In Rome, it was a completely surreal feeling. Everywhere else is just nice. Okay, because in Rome was spontaneous, and here it's like I remember that memory, so I go with that. The guy Robert, he texted me saying that the taxi will be there about 3:15 for some reason, like it was a little bit late. I had don't know what the reason was, and he had given me a hotel name, and okay, you have to meet the taxi at this place, because obviously the taxi could not come into the bazaar, which was very small narrow roads. And I would like to blame all the delay on my friends. We got there at 3:30, but actually I can't blame it on them, because some places we passed a shop and then it was me who said, oh wow, that t-shirt looks nice, so went into the shop and tried to find something. So like, this t-shirt looks nice, can I have it in my size? So with all of us taking our time and being typical tourists, it was 3:30, we got there, but the taxi driver was not a London cabbie, so he did not have a temper, no attitude. We're like, yeah, it's fine. So I said, yeah, sorry to keep you waiting. Like, no, it's perfectly fine. So they were all very mild mannered, very temperate kind of an attitude. So never had any arguments with any of the taxi drivers. Never had any chats as well, because they did not speak English very much. very basic English, if any, but we got by. But no issues ever in any of the taxi rides. Whether we took a short one or a long one, no issues at all. And we did keep them waiting. Not always my fault, but we sometimes kept the taxi waiting, but never any complaints. So yeah, from there we got to the taxi, and then we took the taxi from there. And then after that, the story is in the on location update. So I will put you through to vacation, Sunny, for the rest of the story. I had not realized how far it is from Skopje to Ohrid. I thought it was only that many hours by bus, but even with taxi, it took more than 3 hours to drive. Our plan was to take the taxi from Skopje and go to Matka Canyon, spend a couple of hours there while the taxi would wait, and then go by the same taxi to Ohrid. So it's pronounced Ohrid, not Ohrid or Ohrid, Ohrid by the locals. And the plan ran into problems when we turned towards Matka Canyon because the road was jammed. I don't know what the reason was, too much traffic or it was blocked or whatever, but you could not go to Matka Canyon, which meant that we had to turn back from there, like everybody was turning back from there, and we had to go directly to Ohrid. And we renegotiated with the taxi server guy over Viber messages and went back to the normal price, which is for the direct trip from Skopje to Ohrid and not the extra charge which was for Matka Canyon. We made a tentative plan that when the day that we go back, which will be Tuesday, we will go from Ohrid to Skopje via Matka Canyon rather than going to Bitola, because Bitola is the least of the three cities in our plan, so we kind of sacrificed that in order to salvage Matka Canyon. That was the plan. And then on the way, we took a break. I asked the driver to, can we stop somewhere so that we can stretch our legs and have maybe some tea or coffee. So he stopped at a place where there were two little restaurants across the road from each other, and he pointed to one of them and said, this is a nicer one. It has a specialitat and a specialty, which was a kind of a bread. It has a long name, and I will put the pronunciation of that long name in his own voice because he knows it and I don't. And even after he told me that about 3 or 4 times, I could not pronounce it. So here's the name. So, Swale, what is that called?
What?
What is that thing called? The specialty.
No special.
What's the name?
Name Slave.
What's the name of that thing?
Tim. Ovo za mene.
Yeah. What is this called? What's the name?
Мекиците на стража. Specialitet. Мекици на стража.
Okay, cool. There is something similar in India, which is exactly like this, same taste, and they sell it with chickpeas. Chickpeas, yeah. It's called bhatura. And we asked the lady behind the counter in that place, as in, I asked her, is it vegetarian? And she said, yeah, this is just a bread. It's empty inside. So, okay. So we tried it, and it was really nice. The funny thing was that it was a bread, it was like a deep fried bread, round in shape, and what's the word for that? Bloated? Risen, something. But it is very, very similar in consistency, in kind of like a shape, and definitely 100% the same as taste to something that we call in India bhatura. And bhatura is something that you use as a bread to eat with a dish of chickpeas, and that full dish is called chole bhature. So you have a dish of chickpeas and then 2 of these very deep fried bread, and then you enjoy that with some green chili and some onion and lemon, things like that. It's really, really delicious, but also really unhealthy because it's deep fried and it's got lots and lots of carbs. But this was also very nice. So we had two of them between the three of us, and then we got a couple of them packed for later, for like night or next morning or whenever. Yeah, so we reached Ohrid about 7 o'clock. Yes, and on the way we saw a beautiful sunset from the taxi windows on our side, over the lake Ohrid. And we took a lot of pictures of that. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'll put those pictures on Instagram so you can see. The Instagram account handle is Campfire Corner Podcast. So check that out. We got to the hotel. It's Hotel Villa Becerra, and we had booked 2 rooms with side lake view. And when we got to the rooms, we found that the lake view was not like a lake view from the room window or like a balcony or anything. There was a balcony outside the room, right beside the door, and you access that by going into the room and then opening a French window and then stepping into that. It's like right beside the door. So it's kind of like, I would not call it a balcony. It's like a patio, and we were not happy with that. So we went back to the reception and talked to the lady who had checked us in. Her name was Tanya, and then we discussed, and then she explained our side view just mean this. So we went back, then discovered, okay, this is what it's like. Then we went back to the reception to say like, okay, no, we are not happy with that. Then she was very nice. She made every effort to make us happy, and then she took some keys and went back up. There are lots of steps in there because there are lots of different levels. It's built on the mountain, so there are lots of different separate levels, and there are 3 separate swimming pools on 3 separate levels as well. Very nice. And then she showed us these rooms. One was a 1-bedroom apartment, which was a bedroom with a double bed, but also a living room with the double bed in there as well, and also like a sofa and a little kitchenette on the side as well. And it had 2 balconies, one from this living room bedroom combination and one from the bedroom. So we immediately liked that. Then the lady Tanya, she showed us another room, which was a triple room. So she says that we could take 2 of those and they will have to pay something extra for those. And then she showed us another 1-bedroom villa, which was also nice. But again, similar kind of thing, but 1 balcony rather than 2 balconies. So we had a long discussion, and ultimately I said, fine, whatever, let's take the first villa, 1 bedroom, on the condition that I will take the bedroom and the girls will take the combination living room bedroom kind of thing. So yeah, that's how it is. And it's got 2 bathrooms as well, one in the living room combination and the other one in the attached to the bedroom. So kind of nice enough, I think. And in the morning we will get some good views from there. And tomorrow's sunset we can capture maybe from there, maybe from downstairs from the swimming pool. In this 1-bedroom apartment where there was this living room combination and the bedroom, so the person in the bedroom, namely me, had all the privacy because there was a door that they could close, but the living room combination was like there's no extra door to it. So we made an arrangement when we moved into that every time I wanted to come out of my room into that living room bedroom combination, I had to knock on my door from the inside. And when one of the girls said, yes, come in or whatever, then I could come out. So yeah, it's weird to knock on your own door from inside, but that was arrangement we had to have so that we could all have our privacy within by sharing that villa. That's one of the reasons that I don't like to share these apartment kind of things. But sometimes they are more cost effective with these two balconies and two bathrooms. We were quite tempted to do that, and that's the reason that I kind of accepted that as well. But yeah, so it was a bit amusing. But yeah, and after we sorted all that out, it was almost 9 o'clock by the time we shifted the luggage. Mine was always on my back, so there was nothing to shift. But finally, we moved into this villa, one bedroom apartment thing, and then came out to have dinner. And dinner wise, she had given us two recommendations. One was a place called Villa Becerra. No, sorry, not Villa Becerra. Villa Becerra is the hotel where we're staying. The place is called Diva Becerra, DVA Becerra. And I don't know, Becerra might be beach or something, I don't know. And another one was called Dionis. So we went to the first one because she said the view is better from there. Well, of course, at night there's no view. Everything is dark, the lake is dark. And we went in, we sat down, and then we looked at the menu and found that there are no vegetarian options, like very few vegetarian options, just like tomato soup and maybe a pasta. That's about it. So we got up and then went to the second place, which was not far, maybe 20 meters from the first one. And this one is called Dionis. And this one had a few more options, and then we talked to the waiter who was very helpful. And then his response to everything was like, can you take this? Can you take the mushrooms out of this? Sure. Can you replace the mushrooms with something like peppers? Sure. So he was very helpful and accommodating for that, for everything, for the drinks and everything. So right now we are sitting here and then waiting for our food. But we have got the drink, so we're gonna go start the drinking part now. Wait for our food. I'll update you when I get the chance again. We're coming to the end of this episode because we are hitting the time limit more than 20 minutes now. I just want to mention one quick thing that I forgot when I was doing this on location update at Project 2014. Near the bridge, if you walk down to the actual level of the bridge, it's a little bit tricky because there are, I think, mosquitoes or something like that. But there is a set of statues which is very funny. I found it very funny. I'll put a picture in the Instagram channel. That it's a picture of a girl, not a picture, it's a statue of a girl in a swimsuit, and she's standing on the edge of a little cement platform, you can say. I'm not very good at describing these things, but just in front of that, in the water, there's another statue where you can just see the feet of the person, like of the statue, upside down. And the implication is that she has just pushed somebody over into the water, and you can see the person's legs, and the girl who has pushed him or her down. So I've never seen any statue like that, which is kind of like a tableau. I found that very amusing as well. So if you go there, definitely do not miss that, because that's a very small statue, the statue of the girl, and obviously the legs are also very small. So now that you know that you have to see it, you will remember to look for it, and then walk down all the way to the level of the water, and see these statues. I'm sure you will get a laugh out of it. It's pretty funny. Okay, so we'll finish the episode here. The recommendation that I have for you this time is a video from YouTube that gives you some nice recommendations for what you can see if you go to Skopje, North Macedonia, not Skopje, North Macedonia. And it's got some very nice drone footage as well, and some very useful, informative commentary on top of that. So I'll link that in the show notes. Be sure to watch that. And my Instagram channel for this is Campfire Corner Podcast. So don't miss the pictures from there. right now, I'm gonna finish the episode here. Thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful week. Bye bye.